Good Morning Texas. The Not So Perfect Parent. Sponsored by Cook Children's. We do it all for kids.
Well, it's that time of year. It's time for back to school, and it's time to start packing lunches, that is. And in the past, the food pyramid was a great tool for making sure lunches were balanced. But nutritionist Neva Cochran is here to demonstrate how taking the point out of a good food choices can actually make for a well-rounded diet. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Did you see the analogy, the point of the well-rounded?
Right.
Because right now, there's a big change between what we've traditionally seen as the food pyramid to something that's more rounded in nature. Tell us about the new Choose MyPlate.
Yes, this just came out 2 months ago, and as a registered dietitian, I'm really pleased that they are going away from the pyramid, which people couldn't really relate to when it came to putting food on the plate. Now it's a plate. People can relate to a plate. Basically, it's very simple. Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables, half of your plate should be grains and protein, and then you have your dairy at each meal because kids need to have 3 servings of dairy a day.
You know, it does. It simplifies the whole process.
Yes.
You can glance at that, you can remember that a lot more easily, and it also gives you that approach of, instead of all these different, you know, percentages to consider, half and half you can kind of get.
Easy.
All right, well, let's talk about how you break that down from the different types of meals that we have each day.
I have an example for each meal, and here we have half our grain and our protein. The eggs are the protein. Eggs are a great source of protein for kids at breakfast. It helps them to concentrate better, stay more alert, and not be as hungry before lunch. So, you know, eggs are a great start for breakfast. And then we have our fruit with the sliced bananas and our milk, and I have fat-free chocolate milk here.
Well, and I love the fact that you actually used a plate here that's kind of symbolized what's here on the myplate.gov. But what also I think is impressive is that this is very simple stuff.
Yes.
This is not complicated.
Yes.
This is, you've got, you know, 15 minutes to get the kids out the door. You can do this.
You can cook an egg in the microwave in 1 minute.
That's
1 minute.
really good. That's a really good point. You don't necessarily have to use the stove for that. Okay, now let's talk about packing that lunch. What about the school lunch?
Lunch, here again, we have our whole grain bread. We have our protein sources, lean deli beef. We have a slice of low-fat cheese. Put it together, you have a sandwich. Then your vegetable, or your little slices of carrots, and your fruit is your slices of apples. I like to have little pieces for kids because it's easy for them to pick up and eat rather than a big apple.
And again, this plate gives you a wonderful visual to see what we're talking about. The half and half, you know, doing a quarter of the fruit and the half with the vegetables and the protein. I think that's a great idea. All right, moving on to this section. This is dinner time. It's meal time.
Right. And another protein source is a soy burger. There's more soy available now in the burgers. There's also in baked products and cereals and cereal bars. Look for texturized soy protein or isolated soy protein. Great plant source of protein. Put it on a bun. This is a thin whole grain bun with some lettuce and some tomatoes and pickles, and you have your sandwich. I like these thin buns because they're easier for kids to pick up and they're less calories. Put it together with green beans and your black beans. Your milk is now some low-fat vanilla yogurt with some blueberries for your fruit. So
That
the fruit
looks
moved
so
off
yummy.
the plate
That
into
looks
the,
so. And then snacks. I'm assuming they're still okay. You can incorporate that.
We didn't have a vegetable at breakfast. I put that vegetable in snack. We have celery sticks with peanut butter, part of the protein, and then some raisins. And those are like ants on a log.
Ants on a log. All right. Real quickly, I want to ask you, what about those vegetable juices now that are tasting like fruit? Is that something that you could use to substitute for the
Absolutely,
for the vegetable?
Yes, you can use that. I wouldn't do it for all the vegetables because you get more fiber when you eat your vegetables and your fruits like in the whole. But there's certainly a great way if kids like them to get more fruits and vegetables in.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Because my kids, it's a challenge when it comes to eating anything green, so I appreciate that. For more tips on eating right, you can go to kidseatright.org. Thank you so much for being here.